How about that one?
That's our new leaders right there.
Big Silly!
University of Montevallo, 24-96. National champions, Wallace State, Briar and Clinton. What's up, everybody? Welcome into this new episode of the Rapala We Are Collegiate Bass Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Curry. Today being joined by Tyler Cory and Easton Fothergill from number one ranked University of Montevallo. So far this season, they've amassed 13,270 points. They have a 500-point lead over second-ranked Carson-Newman. Just took over that top spot within about the last month or so coming out of the AFCO Collegiate Bass Open. Another major event took place with the MLF College Series at Lake Hartwell, and now we're here talking to Montevallo as they are in first place for the first time in the 2023-24 season. Tyler, real quick, man, what's it like, coming in so far? Y'all have worked hard, fished a lot of major events, gotten to where you're at this point in the season to be in first place. Kind of talk about what that means to the team.
Yeah, it's been a super big deal. I feel like it's been kind of a slow burn for us, whereas a lot of times we've kind of jumped out to it right away. Our big delay kind of set us back a little bit, I feel like. But once everyone got going into tournament mode, it's been the typical Montevallo way. Guys catch them in every tournament, day in, day out. So it's been big. Everyone's really fired up to be back on top, and we just hope we can ride this wave all the way through.
Yeah, I'll see if I can make this make sense in words real quick. I know that in my head it makes sense because we manage the points for the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia, and we see it week in and week out. But as it pertains to this season, some stuff changed on other of college circuits, so the way that the points are being distributed and how that's occurring throughout the season has changed. So in years past, you might see some events take place up north, and those schools jump out to an early lead. But right now, across the board, the top 6 teams or so, I believe, in my last write-up, have fished basically the same amount of majors as well as just about the same amount of school-run tournaments. So it's pretty even as opposed to in years past when you look at it. You might have a team in first place and the team in 10th has fished 3 or 4 less events because the schedule hasn't made it around for them to be able to compete yet, whereas now this is pretty even. No one's really that much further ahead of the other or fished more tournaments. So pound for pound, that top 6 packed pretty tight. You guys are right there with the 500-point lead over second. Easton, also, too, your thoughts real quick about, knowing that information that it's pretty even, pretty level playing field. And so far through the first 4 to 5 months of the year, pound for pound, y'all are ahead of the rest of the pack.
Yeah, like Tyler said, it's a really good feeling to be on top, but with the new points format, it's honestly going to be a really stressful spring for us because it's how it's set up. We're not going to be able to get a big lead like we have in the past, so we're going to have to make sure we get every point that we possibly can from here on all the way till May. So it's going to be quite the spring, and I'm super excited to see how it shakes out.
Yeah, definitely going to carry on for the rest of the season to see how this all is going to play out. So far this year, it's been one of the closest races yet, whether you're looking at 1st through 6th down to 10th. That gap amongst those teams is just tighter and tighter, and it's going to continue to get that way as that spring season comes around, as that's when most of the major events do take place out on these college circuits. Tyler, off the phone as we're preparing for the interview, I told you, looking at y'all's results so far, you're talking about the start to the year and how y'all have done. And the events at which y'all have earned points, there's been a total of 7. At none of those has Montevallo had a team finish outside of the top 25. Inside of that, that was a points-earning team. Inside of that, there's a total of 3 victories, a couple more top 5s, and then the other finishes are 20 through 25 range. Kind of talk a little bit about how the fall season rather has gone, those that have contributed, and what y'all have done to be able to be right there at the top.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that we got a freshman group that's really hungry right now. They've jumped out and really put some time in on the water, and it shows in their results. As a team, we've always been kind of rock solid consistent, so I feel like that's kind of what we're still riding. We haven't had any major jump out kind of big victories yet. We've just been rock solid, consistent, rolling. I look forward to the spring for some guys to really pop off. We've got some teams that typically do much better in the spring than they do in the fall, and I think this spring schedule really sets up to our strengths. So I'm looking forward to see what happens, but to get through the fall, surviving on top and staying consistent like we usually are is super big for us to get another shot at that School of the Year title.
Consistency definitely being the key year in and year out. You'll see it, at the end of the season, we'll go back and look and analyze how things have gone for certain teams. And for the teams that are at the top, it's every week. Top 10, a victory, a top 25, a top 10, maximizing on double points where you can. And then those teams that kind of maybe fall down in that 6th, 8th, 10th place range, it's the difference being in the top 5 or being in down 6th through 10th is literally one tournament in some cases, whether you zero at a double points event or you drop the ball. You maybe have a team in the top 10, but your next highest team's 90-something. These top 25s, as we were listing off there, having that in every double points event at every major tournament that you can, that's what leads to very strong and good success towards the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Easton, you as well, as you look at the team, you hear Tyler talking about the freshmen, yourself, veteran angler, contributing, doing well at the classic bracket that we'll talk about here in a little bit. What have you seen amongst the team maybe this season that's the same, different, better, just kind of something that sticks out to you from years past to this season that this bunch maybe is doing something a little better, a little different than teams you've been a part of here in the last couple of years?
Like Tyler kind of alluded to, I think our team's really found our identity this fall. I've noticed teams going to like the local lakes, the Coosa River, like pretty much every day, and that's caused our team to shake up a little bit, but I think it's for the good. We have a bunch of new partnerships, and I think overall the team's really happy right now, which I think will translate into the spring. It'll show in the finishes. So I definitely think we found our identity here in the fall, and it's going to be a good spring.
Let's talk a little bit about what might happen into the future, and then we'll get into the club and some of the other things happening with you guys. This season so far now, you enter this year as the only team ever to win the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia 3 times, having done that in 3 straight seasons. Now in first place again, have the opportunity to do that 4 times in a row, be the first team ever to do it 4 times. There's 2 other teams behind you in McKendree and UNA that are looking to join Montevallo in that company for having winning 3, and then several teams like the team in second from Carson-Newman that have never won it before, and they're trying to track you guys down. Tyler, talk a little bit about that history that y'all are chasing. This time last year, you were chasing history, trying to become the first one to do 3, now looking to build upon that and become the first team to ever do it 4 times. Might even set a mark that, who knows, down the road, no one might ever beat. Time will tell. What's it like to be chasing history again this season, and how's that feel as a team and anglers?
Yeah, it's awesome. It definitely adds a little bit of pressure to be the first team to ever do it 4 times, especially in a row. Like you said, that'll be a really tough mark for anyone to really touch coming as we kind of move forward and stuff. Personally, me and Easton are both seniors. It'd be super awesome to tell our kids that we were the first and only senior class to ever do it 4 years in a row. So it'd be awesome to win it every single year that we've been in school. Like you said, though, those guys behind us are hungry. I don't feel like as a team we've gotten super complacent, but these teams behind us are really hungry for it too. So we're going to have to bring our A game every time we hit the water this spring and hope that it shakes out. I think it'll be a crazy storyline coming into that final ACA National Championship on Pickwick.
Easton, as Tyler alluded to there, both of y'all seniors. You've been there for 4 years now. We're part of the first one and have a chance to possibly be a part of the 4th one. Talk a little bit about that and seeing the growth of the program and you being there step for step. You've seen it. You were there to win the first. Y'all worked on the second one. You made history with the third, and now in the process of potentially winning a 4th. And you're, coming out of high school, going into college. Would you have ever dreamt that, from age probably about 18 to 22, you'd be a part of a run like this where, you might have your name in the record books for a really long time?
Yeah, it's definitely something I would never expected or, anything like that. It was super cool coming in the freshman year. The older guys kind of took me and Tyler under their wings, and now we're kind of the guys that are able to take the freshmen under our wings. It's just been a super cool experience to kind of work up through the ranks and be able to contribute to the team here and there. It's just been a super cool experience the last 4 years. I'm super grateful for everything I've been able to experience.
We're talking with Tyler Cory and Easton Fothergill, members of that number 1 ranked University of Montevallo team for the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Let's talk a little bit about the team when we have anglers on and have some time to discuss throughout the years. I like to hear about, what are you learning, off the water, or maybe it's on the water, but it's not tied to tournament fishing, different things that the club does to help build you up. So Tyler, my question to you is, in their time there so far at Montevallo. I know we've talked with Crawford several different times, Coach Crawford, at events or maybe it's at ICAST, and he kind of talks about different things going on behind the scenes, whether it's anglers on the team getting placed in internships throughout the summer, or even right now you guys have ran a couple school run events this fall, and I've emailed back and forth with Solomon, who's functioning as the tournament director and helping to get that set up. You guys are getting on-hand experience is what I'm getting at. What's something that maybe you've learned or you like about the way the club's set up that off the water, maybe for yourselves personally and professionally going on into the future, that the team's helping you work towards building connections that are going to last and help you maybe land a job, get an internship, things like that?
Yeah, there's been a lot of opportunities that the program has given to us that I definitely wouldn't have gotten anywhere else. We run a guest speaker series through our Outdoor Scholars program, and basically we bring in people from all over the outdoor industry, not just fishing, but hunting, shooting sports, Department of Conservation, all that type stuff, and they come and they talk to us and field our questions about what we have, what we should be doing going forward, kind of a day in the life of their job. And then a lot of these companies and people will offer internship positions and job positions to our group of guys. I was lucky enough to last spring we had the guys from Bassmaster come down from Birmingham and talk to us. James Hall and Kyle Jesse came and talked, and they needed an internship. They needed a position filled up there in their media department, kind of working with the editorial team for Bassmaster Magazine and Bass Times. And I was lucky enough to get that position, and I've been working an internship up there ever since. And that's been a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to kind of see on the back end what these tournament organizations go through and really see what it's like to work for the people who you fish for. It's been super cool, and that's definitely not the only example of it. We have now started a partnership with St. Croix and Seven Reels and working with their media team to produce content for them in partnership with the team. That's been super cool. That's kind of a new opportunity that we have. But just in general, you look at how many Montevallo guys have moved into the industry and have taken positions. It's pretty incredible to see the job placement and stuff after college for people who decide that chasing the opens and chasing professional fishing isn't the way that they want to go.
Easton, similar question for you. Something that maybe, whether it's on the water that you've learned from your teammates, out on the road, talking with different people, or even, as Tyler just mentioned, on-hands experience and more on the side of being a working professional off the water. Anything that through your 4 years there so far that sticks out to you as a really cool experience, learning moment, something like that?
I guess everything Tyler said. We've made so many connections through college fishing, like not even just our team, like a whole bunch of other teams too, just being at tournaments and talking to a whole bunch of people. I have so many new friends that I've met, and it's just the friend group I have right now is incredible, and I'm sure that'll play in the future when I'm looking for a job opportunity, or if I choose to do the opens, a travel partner, or, I'll just have connections all over the country from now on. When I graduate, it'll be super cool to have friends all over the place from here on out.
Yeah, it's crazy. Myself, now I've been out of school for over 10 years, and there's guys that I met that, back in the day, Facebook was the big way of means of communication and connecting with people, and I became friends with them back in my college days, and, don't necessarily maybe keep up with them, but I'm scrolling through my feed, and you'll see people are having babies, they're still out fishing competitively, doing all kinds of stuff. These are bonds and friendships that some are going to, shine brighter than others, but you're making connections and things, like you said, that are going to last for a really long time. It's really cool that that's all generated from the community of college fishing. Tyler, for you, you said you're in your senior year now, so it's been about 4 years since you came out of high school. If you look back on your time from high school till now, any advice, words of wisdom, if there's a young high school angler that's tuned in listening to this episode that you might want to share with them that you wish you knew, or maybe you've learned now that you feel like it's very valuable information to pass along, whether it pertains to your degree that you want to get in college to turn, combined fishing into a career, or where you go to school, the location of the school you go to is yourself. You're a long ways away from home, from Wisconsin down to Alabama. Anything you want to share with the high school angler that you feel like is positive information for them to know that can benefit going forward?
Yeah, I kind of have three things in all different realms, both the professional and then the fishing side. I would definitely start with challenge yourself as you're looking for where you're going to go to school. I know it's really easy for a lot of kids to go to the nearest college and pursue their 4-year education there and get on the fishing team there. But I was from Wisconsin, and I knew that if I ever wanted to do this professionally, I'd probably have to learn how to fish down south. So I've taken 4 years, 14 hours away from home to use it as a learning experience as I move forward and kind of figure out what I want to do with my life. The second thing would be make as many connections as you can with your professors, your coaches, your classmates, your teammates, other teams at these tournaments. Like, be a sponge and use those connections as you move forward into the industry, because you never know where these people are going to end up or where a conversation at a tournament could turn into a sponsorship or a job opportunity down the road. And then the third thing is time on the water. I know it sounds cliche and everyone says it, but like, especially if you're trying to do it at the top level of tournament fishing, these guys are so dedicated to their craft that if you're not putting in as much time on the water as you can and productive time on the water, trying to learn something new every time you hit the water, you're at a serious disadvantage. And just putting that time in and taking every second that you can to be out there learning something in the environment, I think that's a huge thing that I really wish I would have told myself when I came out of high school. So just those 3 things I would keep in mind.
Yeah, that's great advice. It's crazy the evolution over the last 10 to 15 years since all of this began back in the mid-2000s. And to hear kind of the mindsets, for myself out of high school, I was just like, oh, the University of Arkansas has a fishing team. That's cool. I'm going to go there. Now I'm still working in the industry. Did I have that intention when I went into college fishing? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not, to be honest. And now yourself, you've kind of got a blueprint. These guys are figuring it out. There's been some, future generation or past generations kind of set the groundwork for the future, and there's ways to go about it, whether you're wanting to join the industry or go fish professionally. You've seen people do it. You can figure out the good, the bad, things that you want to mimic, and that's all great advice that you just shared there, Tyler. So for those anglers listening, if that's the route you want to go or you're looking at going to join a college fishing team, take that to heart that he just shared. Easton, yourself, you've had a long journey as well. You're also coming from up north down south to fish at Montevallo. Things took a big change for you going forward. Won the Bassmaster College Classic bracket, opens up a world of opportunity that you're going to get to pursue on into this next calendar year. Just talk about the last 3 to 4 months. It was if you don't follow college fishing too closely, Easton had some health stuff that he was dealing with. Got out of that, went and won the Classic bracket, and over the course of about 6 or 8 weeks, I'm sure your life was a little bit of a whirlwind. But talk about what the fall has been like and what you're looking forward to going forward from the opportunities that you were awarded.
Yeah, this past fall I was able to win the College Classic bracket, and as many people know, I got pretty dang sick about a month before that, and it was just super gut-wrenching to think about how I was most likely not going to be able to make it. And it was just, I've never been so down in my life, I don't think, but somehow, some way I was able to pull through and make it to the bracket, and on top of that, I was somehow able to win it. I still don't know how I did that, or, it just seems surreal to me still, and I don't think it'll ever feel real. But yeah, this next summer I'll be able to fish all 9 opens. I just got that news about a week ago. And then I'll obviously get to fish the Classic as well, which it's all going to be life-changing, and I cannot wait. And like Tyler said, I don't think any of that would have been possible if I didn't choose to come to school down south. The first couple of years, it was definitely humbling and super rough, I guess. Just the learning curve was much steeper than I would have ever expected. But I would definitely not have been able to pull that off if I had not gone to a Southern school, because I got into the Classic from winning Bassmaster Team of the Year, and that's consistency. And all the Southern, or the whole Bassmaster schedule is basically in the South. So, and if I had not been at Montevallo, I would have not had any type of experience in the South, and there's no shot I would have been able to pull that off. So, like Tyler said, if you want to pursue this, or even have an idea of pursuing it like professionally in the future, I would definitely recommend if you're from the North, go to Southern school. If you're from the South, I would recommend to go to Northern school, just to make yourself that much more diverse and just make you a much more well-rounded angler going into the future.
Great advice, great conversation, guys. Man, we're right close to Thanksgiving, so enjoy the holiday. Be safe if you're getting on the road. And then before you know it, it's going to be Christmas, and you get a long break, which hopefully consists of some fishing and opportunities for y'all on the water as well. So again, thanks for the time today, y'all. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
fishing is all about connecting with nature. Then grabbing nature by the lip and holding it up for a picture.
If you want to be here, it all starts here. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we have the widest selection of the quality brands you love to get you outdoors. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, our friendly, knowledgeable outfitters will help you find the right products for your next trip. Shop with confidence with our low price guarantee. Plus, club members save even more on great gear with exclusive member pricing. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, voted America's best outdoor retailer.